So you and your family joined a package tour and have just returned from your holiday, okay? And you will listen to a radio program about travel and culture. Take notes, okay? So let us go through, okay, the data file before we listen to the task. Okay, so now let's look at the title of the note sheet. Now, the first title is Picking Travel Agencies. So you may listen to some criteria, some rules on how to choose an appropriate travel agency. And then, so choosing package tours. So you can think about what criteria, what rules you need to follow when you choose a package tour. Maybe the price, the service quality, etc. And then booking flights and accommodation. Flights means you travel by air to different places, and then accommodation means hotel. And then making payments. So you can make payments by cash or by credit card or by other means. Now, culture shock. Culture shock means you are in a new country and then you don't know, and you feel shocked by the culture of the new place because the culture of that place is different from your home country, and then ways to deal with it. Okay, and then here you will hear the definition of culture shock, and then you will hear the benefits, the good points of experiencing different culture shocks, and then ways to cope with culture shock. And then here you have the be given a way to send comments or inquiries to the travel agency's council. Okay, so you should write an email. Okay, so you listen to an email address. Any question until now? Okay, so please look at the email because the email is about the task given to you. Hi Peter, I've just arrived in Beijing for my business trip. I know mom isn't feeling well, so could you help me with the following? So here, could you please fill in the survey form? Now simply follow the headings on the form and give them some feedback. Feedback means your opinions. Okay, this is the survey form. Okay, now so let's look at the survey form. Now this is the survey form. Now on the survey form, you have to pay attention to several pieces of information. For example, package tour name, the name of the package tour, and then the tour code, reservation code, that means a set of numbers, and then the date, that means the date of going to that place, date of departure. Okay, so here the form is divided into two parts. The first part is what impressed most during the tour. Okay, so that means the good points. And you will see something exciting, okay, or some positive comments about the tours. And what was the least satisfactory? Least satisfactory means the bad points about the tour. Okay, so maybe dangerous, it may be dangerous, or too somebody asks you for money too much, ask you for extra money, okay? So will you join one of the tours again in the future? So some decisions, okay? So when we look at the data file or listen, we should pay attention to some comments about the tour, okay? So let's go back to the data file. All right, this is the message. During your trip, you told me about your cousin Norman's frustration. So you will find an email from Norman about his frustration at culture shock in Spain. Okay. And then I think having gone on a few trips, you should have gained some insight. So you, okay, means Peter Lam, because at the beginning, your identity is Peter Lam. So you means Peter Lam. You should have gained some insight into how to deal with culture shock. So write a message to him, okay? So the task 6 is a message to your cousin. So the first step is explain what culture shock is. Means you give the definition. And then your experience in Tokyo last year. Examples, okay? So understand more about getting used to. That means you can adapt, okay? You can deal with culture shock. That means here, use your Tokyo experience last year or other examples to explain how to deal with culture shocks. And then give him some advice. And don't forget to talk about the benefits, okay? The good points on experience different cultures. And then the last task is about an email of complaint. So draft an email to Summer Times, okay? This one, Summer Times customer service department for me. Dissatisfaction with the tour, especially that provided by Matthew Hong. So when you go through the data file, pay attention to the message. Focus on the message by Matthew Hong, because any files, any documents related to Matthew Hong should be about the email, which we met him on. Okay, you met him, you met this guy on the 27th of July. Talk about the details, okay, of the complaint and what action, okay, expect Summertime to take. But there is no need, okay, don't talk about the details of the trip, Vanuatu trip. Okay, so please give me the email address of the Travel Agencies Council. Copy them in the email, okay? So these are the main points you have to cope with. So let's go to this data file. Okay. So here you look at this, okay, summertime tours. You see the code. Okay, this may be the answer. And then the package, okay, is Vanuatu Island Getaway. So the date. Obviously, this one is the date of departure. So please pay attention to it. And then here, okay. So there may be something good or bad about the tour. So okay, so please look at here. Okay, I give you about 30 seconds to tell me what are the good things and what are the bad things about the tour. Okay, please tell me. Okay, please look at here. Okay, so let's go to these 2 days. So, what are the good things about the tour? Can anyone tell me? Mo Kang-Hwan, can you tell me the good things about the tour here? Can you tell me the good things about the tour? Mo Kang-Hwan, can you tell me? Niha, can you tell me? The
About
good
which
things.
one?
Which one is about the good things of the tour? Here.
This one, the first one,
Yeah, horse
horseback
ride.
riding.
Yeah, horse riding, and then here. Is it a good thing, swimming with the horses?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
so
will get opportunity.
yeah, opportunity. Yeah, to swimming with the horse, okay. Yeah, okay. So here, uh, so up here, which one is the good experience here, or which one is the bad experience?
I guess water abseiling.
Yeah,
It's
water
kind of
abseiling.
dangerous. It's not bad, but it's dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, water abseiling is dangerous, so it's bad. Okay, so we can recommend it for the first timers. Okay, so how about the underwater underwater post office? Hideaway Island for diving, is it good or bad? Do they like diving around Hideaway Island? Is it good or bad? Uh, Thai, is it good or bad? Diving around Hideaway Island, is it good or bad? Thai, uh, diving around Hideaway Island, is it good or bad?
It's good.
It's good. Okay, so because you see the love diving around Hideaway Island, seeing the underwater post office is quite an experience. Okay, uh, so if you want to send a feedback, can you see the email of summertime tour? Can you see the details? Can you see the information of summertime tour? Yes. So underline this summertime tour. Okay, so next. Okay, so just now Li has a opportunity to go swimming with the horse. Also underline this. Okay. So let's go to, and then the date of return is 21st. Okay, remember here. Okay, message from Peter's cousin Norman. So let's go through the frustration of Norman. Great that your exam is over. Okay, so here, I don't have a lot of close friends around. That this is the first frustration. No close friends. So staying alone in the dormitory for a few days. Miss home. He misses home terribly. Not used to the life in Spain. Okay. Everyone around you is so chatty. Okay. That means they chat with each other all the time. They chat with each other all the time, and they don't want to eat out. Okay, because the food is oily. Miss Mom's cooking. Okay, and then most of the shops closed in the afternoons, so nowhere to go except the library. Okay, so so we have some points to respond to him. No friends, loneliness, and then food, and then the people's behavior, chatty, and then food, and then no place to go in the afternoon. So these are the issues you need to help him cope with, or these are the issues you need to give suggestion to uh, in the letter, okay, in the message. Now you see here, Peter Lamb, that means it is written by you, so it is highly relevant. So let's look at your Pale book page. Vanuatu is beautiful. The adventure on a kayak with a glass bottom was very exciting, and the scenery around us took my breath away. So, is this related to your tour? Is this related to your tour? Is this related to your tour? Niha, is this related to your tour? The adventure on the
Yes.
kayak. Yeah, so underline this. The adventure on the kayak with glass bottom was very exciting. Scenery around us took my breath away. That took my breath away means the scenery was wonderful, okay? So, and then you spot some turtles, dolphins, okay? Very cool, okay? So here, now I give you 30 seconds to see any bad points, any bad points here, any negative comments about the tour here, okay? Okay, any bad comments about the tour?
Yeah, the optional trip.
Here, okay, so what are bad comments? Can you see the bad comments here?
Yes.
Yes, what is the first bad thing? What is the first bad point?
Is it stops between destinations?
Yeah, many stops between destinations. And then people try to sell you stuff. And then can you see the second bad point?
Yeah, additional optional trips offered by tour guide.
Yeah, additional trips offered by the tour guide. You have to join and pay extra for. You
Yes.
have no choice. You have to join. You have to pay extra for the additional trips that you didn't want to join. Okay. So here, wow, being forced to go on and pay for optional trips sounds bad. Yeah, really annoying. Okay, so these are bad things. Okay. So here, travel smart. So what is it about? So who wrote this? Okay, so but anyway, let's look at this. Okay, so I'm sorry, mosque, blue mosque in Sultan in Istanbul, blue mosque in Istanbul. I'm sorry, but I can't get anything more than just 1 star. I didn't enjoy going to the blue mosque at all. I mean, the architecture was stunning, but I didn't get why the entrance staff made me take off my shoes before they let me in. Okay, so make me take off the shoes before they let me in. Okay, so this is the counter shop. Okay, I had already dressed quite modestly. Okay, that means you dress long sleeve top and long trousers. Okay, but they shoved a head cover So that means you don't want to wear a hat cover, but they force you to do so. So it's the first culture shock. Okay, so they shoved a head covering to you. Okay, they shoved a head covering towards you. Okay, so let's look at here to see if there are any culture shocks here. So here, maybe some suggestions. So can you look for some suggestions, okay, about how to deal with the culture shock in Muslim countries? Here, any suggestions to handle culture shock in Muslim countries? Okay, Gang Kwan, can you tell me some suggestions on how to deal with culture shock? Um, Sean, can you tell me some suggestions to handle culture shock in this part? Can you tell me? Or Li Jiaquan, can you tell me some suggestions on how to deal with culture shock? Okay, in this part, any suggestions to deal with culture shock? Any suggestions?
Yeah,
Yeah, what is the first suggestion?
we should do some research,
Yeah, do some research and then
read more about history,
yeah, read more
talk to
about his
local
history.
people.
Talk to some locals. Good, excellent. Okay. So here, now let's look at this part. Okay. I agree with Louis. Okay, we all come from different backgrounds. That is why it's not surprising for us to experience culture shock when visiting other places. Even among Asian countries, we have a variety of different cultures. I visited Korea some time ago and found it so weird. Okay, like weird means you feel a bit, you felt a bit offensive. That means it's the culture shock. Every local I met asked me how old I was. Every local I met asked me. Every local I met asked me how old I was. They tended to ask other very personal questions. Ask personal questions. I talked to a staff member at the hostel, and I was staying in, and found out that they were asking about my age because they wanted to know whether they had to use honorific speech with me. Okay, that means in Korea, if you talk to somebody older than you need to use another set of words, okay, to express your honor, okay, to express your appreciation uh, for people older than you. So this is the Korean language feature, one of the features of the Korean language. Okay, so this is the offensive point. Okay, and here, look right here. Okay, so is the Peter's reply. Peter's reply to an email from his dad. Okay, so let's look at it. Hi there, how do he swear at customers? Swear means foul language. I don't think we should join any of their tours again or join any of their tours again. So what does there refer to? Okay, so it's about Vanuatu trip. Okay, so it obviously summertime tour, Vanuatu. So what should you request? Okay, in the letter, an official apology. Okay, a refund, vouchers or discounts for future tours. But here, look at here. You should join. You shouldn't or you won't join any of the tours again. So do you need the discount or vouchers? Do you need the discount or vouchers?
Discount?
Yeah, but you won't join the tour. So do you need the vouchers or discounts for future trips?
Voucher.
Do you know the vouchers? Now, vouchers is a document to allow you to have a discount for the next trip, or it's a paper money issued by a company, which allows you to pay for the services, okay, provided by the company, okay? So will you join the tours of that organization? Yes or no? Maybe not, because you shouldn't, so this may not be possible, okay? And then you may need a proper response to the concern you have. Okay, it may be difficult to demand a refund, but I think it is easy to demand a proper response, okay? So here are 2 points, so this one and that one, okay? So let's look at your dad's concern, okay? Hey, Peter, for the email of complaint, there are a few things I would like you to mention. Mom and I went to summertime tours, okay, here, the other day to talk to Matthew Hong. Well, remember, okay, in the email, okay, they mentioned how rude Matthew Hong is. So let's look at how the details of his rude behavior. So the travel agent who booked our Vanuatu trip for us, about some of the concerns we had regarding the trip. He was incredibly rude and arrogant. Underline this, okay? He was incredibly rude and arrogant. But what really infuriated means make you angry, was that he swore at us. He swore at us. Swore at us means using foul language. Control 好啊, using foul language. He acted very unprofessionally, and he didn't reply to your concern, okay? He just used a lot of excuses, okay? Go to the travel agency council's webpage, what we can ask the agency for. So now maybe we can go to the travel agency council's webpage. Okay, so maybe the travel agency's webpage is the the video show, okay? So now let's look at the last excerpt from Peter's blog post. It's my second week here in Tokyo and I have a great time. So you are going to use the example of your Tokyo stay to give some advice to your cousin Norman's to address his frustration, okay? So here, we went to eat noodles, okay? Here, the food and the service were really great. That's why we wanted to tip the waiter who served us when we paid. Waiters, okay, in Hong Kong are happy, are thrilled to receive tips, but it was rude to tip in Japan. It was rude to tip in Japan, okay? And then the waiter refused to take the change. So it was rude to tip in Japan. This is one example you can use in your advice letter to your cousin. Okay, so Listen to the tape, okay?
You and your family joined a package tour and have just returned from your holiday. You will listen to a radio program about travel and culture. Take notes under the appropriate headings. Before the recording is played, you will have 5 minutes to study the question-answer section and the data file to familiarize yourself with the situation and the tasks. Complete the tasks by following the instructions in the question-answer section and on the recording. You will find all the information you need in the question-answer section, the data file, and on the recording. As you listen, you can make notes on page 3 of the data file. Talk to us all.
Now let's listen to it once.
Holidays faster. The recording is about to begin. Turn to page 3 of the data file. Next up on Drive Time, we have a guest who is going to talk to us all about holidays. With the summer holidays fast approaching, many people will be taking the chance to get out of the city for a week or longer. Even with the rise of the internet, many of us still prefer to book our trips through travel agencies that offer a one-stop shop where people can sort out flights, accommodation, and tours all in one place. But what is the best way to choose a travel agency and get the best deal? Thankfully, Amy Lai from the Travel Agencies Council is here to give us some tips. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, listeners.
So, Amy, can you tell us what customers should look out for when they are picking a travel agency?
Well, it is always a good idea to choose an agency that is a member of the Travel Agencies Council. TAC members follow a strict code of conduct. If an agency that is a TAC member closes down suddenly, customers are still protected. Another thing your listeners should do is read reviews, whether positive or negative. There are many travel websites and forums out there where you can find all kinds of reviews on the service of travel agencies. The TAC also runs a similar service. However, when you read the reviews, you should read them with care. The TAC has received complaints claiming that some reviewers are being paid to say good things while others are being paid to badmouth competitors. I'd advise listeners to read all reviews carefully.
I see. Very good advice. For many people, the attraction of travel agencies is the tour packages they offer. Instead of having to sort out transport, food, sightseeing passes, timings, and so on all by yourself, agencies offer tour packages off the shelf that you can choose from. What should customers be aware of when choosing tour packages?
Well, I know from both personal experience and what many others have told me that it's easy to feel pressured into paying more than you want for a tour when you go into an agency's office and are presented with several attractive-looking leaflets. I'd say do your homework. Compare the price of packages. There can be big differences in price depending on the agency. Some websites offer price comparison services, so you should take a look at them. Once you have made some comparisons, you'll be more aware of what you should be paying, and it will be easier to say no and go elsewhere if you feel an agency is charging too much. Also, you should always read all ads thoroughly and check that the information provided is correct. It can be misleading. Make sure that what you sign up for is exactly what you want.
That's right. Some ads could be very misleading, so it's always a good idea to read all the information provided, especially the small print, before making any payments or decisions. Now, I'm just looking at the emails and text we are getting in here, and we've got a few similar ones asking about study tours. Do you have any tips about choosing the right study tour?
I'd say it's basically similar to choosing any other tour package. On top of that, you need to compare the schools the tours work with and the support provided to students. Speaking of this, I
Sorry.
expect some students will have never been abroad before joining a study tour, and they may experience culture shock, which generally means feeling nervous or lost when you are in a new and unfamiliar cultural environment, such as when you are studying in another country or even on holiday there. Some tour operators and schools work together to help students adapt to their new environment.
I remember experiencing culture shock myself during the first couple of weeks I studied overseas. I did feel nervous and lost, and it took me some time to get familiarized with the new environment and culture. What kind of support is usually provided to students?
Take my company as an example. We organise pre-departure briefings to let students know more about their destination. We help them understand that they are going to a different country where people may do things differently. We also remind them that they should be open-minded towards different cultures. If they keep an open mind, they will cope with culture shock more easily. One more thing, it's very important to respect other people's cultures and not make unfair judgments. In a handbook we provide to participants, we say that they will cope more easily with culture shock and have a far more rewarding experience if they observe and learn rather than judge. This way, they'll learn more about the world and broaden their horizons. That's the whole point of going abroad and experiencing different cultures, isn't it?
Agreed. Besides broadening my horizons, I think my experience studying abroad also made me stronger and better at adapting. When you're in an unfamiliar environment experiencing another culture, you'll come across different problems. Most of the time, you'll have to solve them on your own. Doing this multiple times, you'll naturally adapt to the place and grow stronger. Now back to tips on traveling. We've just had a text from June who wants to book her own flights and accommodation rather than going on a tour and wants to know how she can get a good deal.
Okay, well, a good tip for getting a good deal is to travel on a weekday. Most people travel Saturday to Saturday, so the fares are usually higher then. But if you leave midweek, say on a Wednesday, there'll be fewer people wanting to travel, so these days are often cheaper. June should also check that she has received written confirmation after booking, especially if she is booking online.
Great. I hope that helps you, June. Now, I've got an email here asking about what to pay attention to when making payments.
Before making any payment, I think it's important to check if refunds are available and what the terms and conditions for refunds are. Actually, this is my golden rule with anything. Do not make any payments until you know what you are paying for. You should first have a good understanding of the product, be it a tour package, hotel accommodation, travel insurance, pocket Wi-Fi rental, or anything else, before you pay cash or give credit card details to the vendor.
Great. I'm afraid that's about all the time we have with you today, Amy. One last question. How can people contact the travel agency's council if they have any inquiries or comments?
The easiest way to get in touch is to send us an email at info@tac.org.hk.
Thank you so much for your time and advice today, Amy. After the news, we'll be talking about... This is the end of the listening component of this test.
Okay, so okay, we can listen to it. Let me wait. Okay, so let's go through it. Okay, the answer. Okay, the first one, book through a member of Travel Agency Council. And second, read what? Good comments. What is the adjective for good comments? What is the adjective for good comments? With positive and negative reviews with care, okay? And then choosing package tours. Compare the prices of package tours. There can be big differences. And here, number 2, confirm. 肯定啦, confirm. The information in the ad, in the advertisement ad is correct. The information can be misleading. That means can not correct. Misleading means not correct. Misleading. Okay, so here. So flights, booking flights and accommodation. Leave midweek. Usually cheaper. Check that you have received written confirmations when booking. And then here, making payments, check if refunds are available. Okay. Next, do not make any payments until you know what you are paying for. Next, definition, feeling, like what is the culture shock, feeling nervous and lost in a new environment. And then learn more about the world and broaden your horizons. Make you stronger and better at adapting, okay? Ways to cope with culture shock. First of all, you should be open-minded. And then here, number 2, respect other people's culture. And do not make unfair judgments. Okay, so last one, info@tac.org.hk. I type it info, and that's the end of today's lesson. tac.org.hk. Okay, so this is the end of today's lesson. Okay, so do you have any questions about today's lesson?
No.
No, if you have no question, then we can end our lesson now. Okay, thank you for attending the lesson. Okay, oh, bye bye.
Okay, bye.